Welcome back, everybody.
It's been a while.
It has been a long, long time. And today, me and my sister are going to watch the Couragely Cowardly Dog Show. Courage Cowardly Dog Show. Welcome back to the middle of nowhere. That's all I remember from that intro. Welcome back to the middle of nowhere.
I actually live. Fun fact about me: I actually live close to Nowhere, Kansas.
Yeah, I always forget it's a real place, huh? Yeah.
I don't know where it is exactly. I was just making a joke.
Oh, it's not a real place? I thought it was actually based on a real place.
It might be, but
It
I
might
just,
be.
the middle of nowhere is in Kansas, so.
Really? Anyway, this is me, my sister Megan.
So.
I don't get a name. All I am is me. Looking flying my button up if I do say so myself. What'd you think, guys? Huh? Yeah? Yeah? Just doing it for you? No? Okay, maybe one of you guys. Yeah. Probably just one. But
Okay, what the heck just happened?
I don't know. But I love this show growing up. I love
Wait, Derek, can you talk?
Hello. Hello.
Damn it! I muted you somehow.
How'd you mute me?
Hold up.
Technical
Okay.
difficulties, everybody.
I can hear you now. I was trying to turn up the volume and I accidentally turned off my headphones.
I'm just dancing. You know, I'm keeping the crowd entertained while we wait for you. But I love this show growing up. I love Courage Cowardly Dog. I like the villains. I like the art style.
I'd lie if I said it didn't give me nightmares.
It didn't give me nightmares at all. So that just must have been your weak generation. Not a man generation right here. Ugh.
I was a little kid when it came out, okay?
You were a little kid. You're a little kid now.
I'm not. I'm like 30.
You're like 5.5 years old.
Okay, I'm not 30. I'm gonna be 28 soon. But still.
She's lying, everybody. She's 45.
That makes you 60 then.
She's older than I am. Yep.
Uh-uh.
Wait. Without further ado, let's see what level 1 rock has to say. And maybe I'll skip if it gets too boring. We're probably only gonna watch about half of this, though. I don't know. Maybe we'll watch. Who knows? We might watch it all. Who knows? But I'm gonna start it. Ooh. Can you hear it all right?
This program to
yeah.
Okay.
Nightmares.
Yeah, I watched this and I'm just thinking fond memories. I'm not traumatized even I'm not traumatized even a little bit.
I think this is the first show that actually made me cry.
Wow, what episode? Positive perfect. The cartoon that traumatized a generation.
The episode where Courage finds his mom and she gets sent to the moon.
Sorry, I forgot about that.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know why I cried over that. It was just a little girl that was like crying my eyes out.
Yeah, you're over here.
Like, look, it's a happy thing though.
You're over here like sad. Like, why? Why would they do that? Why?
I was like 5 years old. I remember crying my eyes out and grandma trying to console me.
That's so funny. I mean, to me anyway. To you, you're like, oh no.
So I was lucky enough to grow up during a golden age of children's television. We really had it all. Some of the funniest, coolest, and most heartwarming
Oh, gross, dude. This guy's like your generation. He put Ben 10 on this list, unironically. Ugh.
Ben 10 is my
shows that
generation.
many of us
I
have
know,
thoroughly
that's what I said.
enjoyed for 20 years and counting. And while there were many lighthearted
Hell
favorites
yeah.
to put on after school, I wouldn't
Oh,
be able
yeah.
to sit here today and tell you that we truly
Kids
had
Next
it
Door,
all.
hell
But this era didn't
yeah.
also include some of the dark side too, right? The ones that air after the sun goes down.
This was played during the day when I was a child. Not when the sun
Yeah.
went down. I just want you all to know. This was like 12 p.m. When the sun
Yeah.
goes down, he says. That's how I know he's your age.
When your fear of monsters under the bed starts to come out.
You're not perfect.
Luckily for us,
I don't remember that, though. That was kind of nightmare fuely, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
What are you eating, Megan? You're really nomming over there. It's making me jealous. Food.
Coffee, ice cream.
in the late 90s and early 2000s,
You
there was,
got-
in fact, a banger
got
of an
ice
introduction
cream
to horror included
without
in this
me?
era that for many of us
Coffee
was
ice
actually
cream.
too scary to watch. Courage the Cowardly Dog
Jealous.
was not your average children's cartoon, to say the least. While many kids shows included a cast of a few friends, a family,
Oh, hell yeah,
often
dude.
a
I love all those
school,
shows
a
that this
lighthearted
showed right there.
tone, this show completely rejected those tropes and denied us that comfortable familiarity. In this world, there's no friends, no school, no neighbors. There's just Courage, who acts as a stand-in for a child, with the lovely Muriel and her awful husband, Eustace, who
I'm going to defend Eustace here, okay? He was not the best husband. But there were episodes that showed that he actually truly cared for her.
Not to mention that he had, not to excuse his behavior, but explains it that he had trauma from his older brother calling him worthless.
Oh, and his mom. His mom was awful. Like, why
Yeah,
can't you be
so-
more like your brother? It's probably how Nicholas feels when he's talking to me about mom. Or mom about me.
Probably.
That's rough. Sorry, Nick. I love you, buddy.
all quite literally live in the middle of nowhere.
Just saying. It's not my fault, okay?
There. Nowhere.
There's a lot of little subtle details that help just
Nowhere.
make the show feel extra uncomfortable, like the fact that we can never see the parents' eyes. It's kind of like how in Tom and Jerry the parents' heads are always cut off. There's also the fact that we don't have a fun and catchy theme song like most of these other shows, but instead we just got this high-pitched voice on the TV interrupting what we were watching.
We interrupt this program to bring you Courage the...
I love that intro. Is it
I love
just
it.
me? I love the intro. Welcome.
The intro's great.
We interrupt this programming to bring you Courage the Cowardly Dog. Courage the Cowardly Dog is a dog who lives in the middle of nowhere.
Cowardly
It's also really unique.
In this world, there's
Yeah.
extraterrestrial visitors and supernatural disasters regularly. Basically, imagine if you lived in a farmhouse in the middle of nowhere. You might have fears of UFOs and aliens, things like that. All those types of fears, yeah, those come true all the time here. Their house is constantly being destroyed or abducted or relocated against their will. This world is flooded with abstract terror.
Oh man.
Oh, I
that's-
should also defend Eustace here. He always, I don't know why I say it like that. Eustace is, he always fixes the house and makes sure everything's in order every day.
even when he grumbles about it all the time.
And he does it in the bad weather too.
Yep. Also, look at that hottie right there, dude. That's a baddie.
Yeah.
Dang. Dang girl, looking spooky today. I like it.
Yeah.
Sinister surrealism. Cold sweat fever dreams.
I personally like this one the best. Pimples that pop out eyeballs. That's pretty awesome, you know?
And utterly
There's one episode I
diabolical
couldn't
villains.
handle though.
Tempt me to be
This one?
naughty.
I hate this
No.
one.
In this-
Because that's Muriel's like creepy brother who's like obsessed with hair and chopping it off.
Nephew.
World, the parental figures
nephew,
don't save
right,
you.
nephew.
They need saving.
Oh, Courage, help me.
In this world, something bad is always happening. And on occasion, there is no happy ending. So why is it then that all these years later, this show is still so beloved by the very fans that were
Because
traumatized
it's really
by it?
good.
My favorite response, and I've heard this far more than once, is you really were the head writer for Courage the Cowardly.
I think that guy passed away, man.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, I think he died of cancer. So rest in peace, David. and condolences to the family. I know it happened probably a year ago, I think, but still, I'm sorry that happened. What a good guy.
Early dog. Wow, that show f***ed me up so bad. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I
Courage the
say.
Cowardly Dog, as I've mentioned and even made a whole video on, is one of my favorite shows of all time. I think it is the best cartoon ever made.
It's in my personal Hall of Fame for media that actually managed to
I forgot about the gangster toe people. That was creepy.
traumatize me. Like, this actually f***ed me up.
Maybe it's because it counterbalances its darkness very well with zany absurdity. Maybe it's because of how cute this little dog is trotting his way through the nightmares and celebrating the little victories along the way. Maybe it's because underneath all of that
So
terror,
nice.
it's actually got some really sentimental themes threaded throughout and knitted with love in every stitch.
I love this episode. The episode with the Hunchback guy is another of my favorites. I like how they're up there and they're playing music with the bells.
You, sir, are bald.
You see, yeah, that's that's my favorite part. You're so
No.
ugly. You broke a mirror, and he gets a note from Courage. It's like, and you are very bald.
I love that.
Because in fact, the show wasn't just
Me
horror, it was
too.
comedy horror.
So
it actually
good.
really delicately balances its darkness with lightheartedness. And you need those moments of coming up for air to be able to keep venturing back into the darkness. Something that we might get to do later, if we're lucky. There's a lot of fantastic voice acting and sound bites that this show brings, and you're going to be hearing a lot of them throughout this video and then
Yeah.
probably sprinkled throughout my future videos because,
It's simply too good.
first of all, the screams this dog would make. Like, the primary feeling you get from watching this show is definitely the horror,
Nah.
but the more you watch it, the more those screams will start to ground you in reality that it's an inherently funny show, too. Obviously,
Okay, that episode freaked me out really bad.
I like that episode so much because of like all those like crazy one-off things. She's like, "Yeah, Courage, come here." He's like, "What? Come here." And she's like, "You want some tea?"
That
like
episode
that bad
freaked me
things keep
out.
happening.
Yeah,
to
I
this
think
poor
it's
dog,
so
but
funny.
When they do,
I think
I
it's
can't
so
help but
funny.
have a laugh at it.
Where's Muriel?
Where's Muriel?
Or even like when things start to get real bad, sometimes we might get a good.
I like the
And
shit
they were
talking
always really
computer.
inspired in how
Yeah.
Courage screamed, weren't they? Like how they animated him. Sometimes
Oh, okay then. Hold your pennies and stop your pennies for getting a bunch. I'll help you.
his teeth would pop out. Sometimes his eyes would pop out. Sometimes he'd scream through his eyes. Sometimes he'd scream his skin off. Sometimes it'd cut to a different shot where he'd go up to the moon and scream the moon into tiny little pieces. Sometimes he'd scream through a trumpet. Sometimes we'd look at his tongue and it would have 6 smaller mouths screaming. It truly feels like they never wanted to animate him screaming the same way twice, and I really appreciate that commitment to originality. And while we're talking about great
I never
noises,
thought about that, but
sound
that's
bites,
great.
and vocal stems, we have to talk about the noises that Eustace would make. My personal favorite is, like sometimes he just says, but other times it's like the confusion
Oh, that episode
overwhelms
broke my
his
heart too.
Yeah, when he was able to see himself as a little boy.
And he's
What's
like,
that?
well, boy needs his hat.
A little boy without his hat? Well, that's just not right.
That kind of reminds
Aw.
me of Grandpa, you
brain
know?
and amasses
Yeah.
into a critical hit.
Huh?
Another all-timer is,
Get away from me! Get away from me!
Eustace really is a piece of shit throughout the show, and he'll often abuse Courage, get punished by Muriel, rightfully, and then candidly ask.
What did I do?
And of course, we see this one every time in the intro
Hey,
theme,
that one's
as well
good,
as
though.
throughout
That's
the
so
show.
good.
He'll pull out this big scary green mask to scare Courage with a.
Ooga booga booga!
That mask was originally going to be a gun, and he would actually shoot Courage like they would in Looney Tunes. But then they ended up changing it to make it more child-friendly. But comedy aside, this show really was the intro to horror for a generation. Not just in the way it portrayed such horrifying images, but in the way it paid tribute to classic horror films.
The
Isn't it cool when
Exorcist.
new artists tip their hats to the artists that they grew up with? It's like how Hana and
Yeah.
Kind used Project Pat's flow in his new mega hit Big Dogs.
Underground methods, top-notch hoes get the most, not the lizard.
Sicker to sicker, when you see the rims flicker, the paint dripper, ice in my rains glitter.
And did it in a way
I like both those songs. Unironically. Unironically, I like them both.
that actually honors the original. What a wonderful cascade of history. Art's a beautiful thing, you guys. That's why this whole channel is about appreciating it. Courage tips its hat
He's
to The
lying.
Exorcist for inspiring it, and then future artists would watch Courage and tip their hat to that for inspiring them. It's like how the song Crisis comes from Courage, and that song would later be sampled by artists like Josiah. Speaking of artists, there's a
Damn
lot of
it. He
questions
keeps teasing me of all these good
I have
songs.
for them. There's a lot of things I want to find out here. Like we said before, how is it that they made a show that traumatized a generation but still won their hearts in the end? Who is Courage? What is Courage? And how is it different
Oh, I
than
love that
Fear?
episode.
Why is Eustace so abusive?
Yeah, dude. A lot of these episodes. The other thing that makes the show so good is these episodes are absolutely memorable. You know, they are fantastic.
What made me want to do this episode specifically, or this video, is the episode with Kitty and Bunny.
Oh
And
yeah, the cute little romance. Yeah.
yeah, they had a cute little romance going on, but she was, I'm gonna assume that he was supposed to be her pimp.
I think so. Like,
And he's like, oh, you don't need that Kitty. Was it Kitty about? Yeah, Bunny was the one that was in an abusive relationship.
yeah.
So, yeah, I think he was supposed to be her pimp, and she was actually in love with, Bunny was in love with Kitty, and it's been confirmed that they were a lesbian couple.
It doesn't matter to me if they are or aren't. I love love. I love love.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. It's so cute.
What does it mean to be a hero, and what does
Yeah.
it mean to be a villain? In other words, what does this all mean? Well, in
Yeah,
order
what
to
does it
answer all those
mean?
questions surrounding this traumatizing masterpiece,
What does
we
it
need to
mean?
dive into the minds of those who made it.
Go on, make yourself right at
It's
home.
Dilworth,
First
dog.
and foremost, Courage the Cowardly Dog wouldn't exist if it weren't for the mad scientist that is John R. Dilworth.
Hello, everybody. This is John R. Dilworth, and the R stands for Rumpelstiltskin.
It is his insane mind
He looks like a guy
I'm
that
gonna
made
look-
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
that we have to thank for
Let me look him up.
Yeah, look him up.
Oh, he's still alive.
Maybe he'll make another good show.
He's 63. I don't know if that's gonna
scaring
happen.
the shit out of us as kids.
Like curly hair.
Was orchestrated by me. Am I insane,
The first thing you need to know about John Dilworth is that he himself is just as much of a cartoon character as any of his creations.
We will see Chicken from Outer Space, the origins of Courage the Cowardly Dog, life in transition. We will see Dirty Birdie. Oh, so many things, and then the most horrific.
I like that
Cowardly
shirt.
Dog cartoons.
His veins pulse with rampant chaos. He's theatrical and animated, yet philosophical and profound.
You know, I said, hey, John, how come you can't see Muriel and Eustace's eyes behind the glasses? He says, because they're spiritually blind.
That makes so much sense. Checks out.
And he's genuinely opened my eyes to a new level of appreciation for the art form of cartoons.
Absolute bedlam reigned in these studios where cartoon characters
He
survived
looks like he'd
the
make
most
this
absurd
show.
things. You could rip your eyes out and put them back in, and it's not a worry. I mean, you can do this. You can stretch your tongue out, roll it back up, and it could beat against your mouth, and you'll be fine. You can get run over by a giant truck.
It's
back
so
and forth,
crazy.
and then walk out flat, and then you're back to normal. It was magic. You could just experience anything. So it's really quite an experience for the mind.
I think the
Sir. I don't know what drugs he's on, but I want to try them.
I don't know. You know what just upsets me about this a little bit is that we will never get a cartoon like the olden days again unless something changes. Because I know that 2D animation costs a lot of money to make,
Yeah.
but it looks so much better than the 3D animation.
Yeah, well, the thing is, right, I don't even mind that. I just want them to take risks again and stories. I want them to show.
Like Treasure
I-
Planet.
Yeah, and not only that, I love when they make inappropriate jokes that children aren't supposed to get before everybody was like offended by it. Like, I think the last one I can think of was like the Cars movie when he gets flashed by the twins and it's just their headlights
Oh, that's
turning on.
funny.
Yeah, it's so funny. But it's clearly an adult joke, right? It's super adult. But kids don't care. They're like, huh, you did flash their lights.
Well, what was I gonna say? The other thing that I noticed with shows nowadays, they'll have it where they're in the past, and for some reason they don't show smoking anymore. I know why they don't show it, but it doesn't mean that it like it's just not authentic.
Yeah.
I feel like if
Key
they
in-
showed smoking, it would be authentic, and I'm not huge on smoking anyways, but I think they need to show it or drinking or something.
They just don't endorse it, you know. So and you know, they have to deal with those whole organizations of moms with nothing better to do. So I don't want to
Yeah.
deal with them either.
Influences
Just
that
saying.
John credits the most are this era of cartoons, and he specifically names Tex Avery.
Major influence is Tex Avery, who was part of what they call the golden age of Hollywood American cartoons, the late 30s and 40s and very early 50s.
As well as this silent film era, particularly the work of Charlie Chaplin.
If you look at Charlie Chaplin, this is cartoon, this is animation, this is performance art, and he is among my greatest influences. Even today in schools, animators study the way Charlie Chaplin or these performers from a very early period, the way that they performed.
Abbott and Costello, they were a ridiculous comedy team, but they made serious horror films. These influenced me. That you can have stupid business going on while death is beating down the door.
If you've seen my Kendrick video, you know that one lens I like to use to view an artist's growth is this metaphor of climbing the mountain, which illustrates how one must focus on both study and practice in order to maximize improvement. But
No
there's
way.
another more popular metaphor that aligns quite well with this one that I find very relevant to talk about here. It's Ira Glass's closing the gap metaphor. You heard of this one?
Nope.
Only some of you?
Not even a little bit.
Guess I'm just gonna have to cook.
All of us who do creative work, we get into it because we have good taste. Do you know what I mean? Like, you want to make TV because you love TV. You know what I mean? Because there's stuff that you just, like, love. But it's like there's a gap. That for the first couple years that you're making stuff, what you're making isn't so good, okay? It's not that great. It's trying to be good. It has ambition to be good, but it's not quite that good. But your taste is still killer. And your taste is good enough that you can tell that what you're making is kind of a disappointment to you. A lot of people never get past that phase. A lot of people at that point, they quit. You gotta know it's totally normal and the most important possible thing you could do.
That's so good, dude. That's super unique. What a way to look at it. A crazy way to look at it. No, I never thought about it like that, you know? Exciting. I'm gonna skip this part though. We're going to skip John R. Dilworth. Watch the video if you want to see more about it. I want to skip to... We'll skip the creators too. I know you guys are disappointed. You're super disappointed. I want to get to the villains. Because I love Courage Keller villains. Alright, Megan, I'm skipping all this. Are you alright with that?
Okay.
It's 12
I
minutes.
can watch the video some other time.
Villains are the most important thing in a horror show, right? Even if not people, but supernatural forces, there has to be some force that brings about darkness on the main cast. And Courage has tons of them. This show is a goldmine of villains.
I love that one.
That was such a good episode.
I forgot it existed. Yeah, they have to play the record. He just comes out and starts
One that
dancing
most
and
fans
stuff.
will be quick to recognize and recall is undoubtedly King Ramses.
Oh,
King
yeah.
Ramses' curse. It did immediately remind me of how scared I was when I first watched this episode. It was extremely unnerving. And I'm not alone either. 22 years later, this is still one of the most talked
been
about
that long?
horror moments in all of kids.
It's actually been
programming.
longer now. It's been like almost 30 as this show came out.
Suffer my curse.
Personally, I didn't find this that spooky. However, when I was watching this, I was also watching real horror movies and reading horror books by Stephen King.
Okay.
So my opinion's
So-
warped and convoluted.
So this is the first introduction to horror I had, and I actually had a nightmare based off of that episode specifically.
I know. Just ask me how I know.
You remember?
Yeah, you told me. It You're like, I had a, and then I made fun of you.
When was this? Today? Or when I was a little kid?
When you're a little kid.
Oh.
I'm a jerk. I'm a big, giant, big brother jerk. You're like, I just remember you saying, I had a bad dream. I was like, what about? You're like, that tablet episode. It took me forever to realize what you were talking about. And then when I realized it was about Courage the Cowardly Dog, I laughed at you.
It's better than that one dream I had when for some reason, you remember that episode of Dexter's Laboratory when they were making fun of My Little Pony?
Yeah.
I had a nightmare about My Little Pony that night.
That's okay. I had a nightmare about the episode with Mr. T in it where he's like, it's not about the mustache on the outside or the beard. It's about the beard on the inside, little man. I had a dream that I couldn't grow a beard. Yeah, it wasn't a real nightmare. It was more like I couldn't grow a beard, so I couldn't be a part of Man Club. I was like, no, I can't believe it. I'll never be a man. I was like 8 when I had that dream. All right. Okay.
The King Ramses curse thing, right? That one. Just based on my experience with the convention people, that almost everybody. That is their favorite episode. I think a lot of it really has to do with the simplicity of this 3-dimensional image in a 2-dimensional world. And that was Dilworth, by the way, right?
Yeah.
I didn't realize how old Courage was.
Yeah. Came out.
What makes this episode
99.
go from good to great is the elevation from horror to horror comedy.
It came
Because
out
as
the year
horrific
you were
as King
born.
Ramses is. It
I wasn't
really
born
is
in
the
99, Derek.
unbothered, greedy reply from Eustace that is the cherry on
I was
Came out the
born in
year
98.
after the year
Because
after
faced
you were
with the threat of
born.
not 1, not 2, but 3 plagues, this man will negotiate with supernatural beings.
Actually, technically, Megan, it came out the year you were born, and it was one of those. It was one of those contest winners where a whole bunch of people shoot ideas into Cartoon Network, and they would make whatever shows won these contests. And Courage the Cowardly Dog was one of them, and so was Codenames Kids Next Door, and a whole bunch of other shows. So, haha, take that. And they base it on viewer, like, ship. So they play, like, a pilot episode.
Beings over some cash.
Pilot episode came out in 1999.
Which, as this comment points out, is actually a really polite thing to do.
That's when it was released on TV.
He doesn't have to give Eustace this heads up, but he does. What a gentleman. So I think King Ramses is definitely the most recognizable and most remembered, but the darkest, the most sinister.
I love when he's like, return to Slav. And Eustace is like, no.
For lack of a better term, the most
Make me.
has got to be Freaky Fred.
Is there
Yeah,
any
Freaky
episode
Fred,
of
dude.
Courage that stand out to you both as being, what you would imagine would have been someone's scariest episode?
Freaky Fred. I read so many things, and people said so many things. People have contacted me and said that you scared the bejesus out of me when I was a kid, and I think that was a real risk for them to do that character.
In my book, Freaky Fred is second to none. This episode is cursed. The devil is in the details. Through this demonic poem, we learn about the life of abuse that Fred has conducted, while our poor dog is trapped inside of the bathroom.
Creepy.
It was a day I cannot forget. The day that I first met my pet.
Keep in mind, all this narration we're hearing from Fred are the words inside his head. He says that at the beginning.
Hello, new friend. My name is Fred. The words you hear are in my head.
I wrote Freaky Fred.
I like that episode.
I'm going to say, okay, he didn't really abuse them. He just shaved them.
Well, for some animals, that's abuse, but not most.
Yeah.
A friend of mine who I met while working on
It'll grow back,
Marcelli,
mainly.
and he wrote King Ramses. He's a wonderful writer. I do have an affection for Fred because it's in verse. I mean, I remember walking with John Dilworth, and he said, I want to do an episode about a freaky barber, evocative of
Freaky
Sweeney
barber.
Todd, certainly. I don't remember if he brought up Sweeney Todd at the time, but he said, I'd like to do it in verse.
And oh, such fuzz, it does demand.
He tells us about his pet that he couldn't help but shave.
That I be
I love how angry that pet looked.
naughty.
this girl Barbara that he couldn't help but shave.
Barbara, my love was named, and her fair hair, a mane untamed.
And then this older man that he couldn't help but shave. This is dark art. Okay.
Some of those episodes were very dark. Some were frothy, but some really twisted.
Not only is he reciting in his head this dark poem that sounds like if Dr. Seuss and Edgar Allan Poe made a baby, it's his constant smiling throughout the episode. He twirls before he shaves the last bit of hair off of Courage's bum. Even when he gets taken away at the end, presumably back to some mental facility.
With love. Fred.
As if nothing wrong was done. This is one of those episodes where there just is no resolution. It's just like some dark shit happens and then it ends. Like, diabolical. Diabolical synonym, please, because I can't keep saying that.
Diabolical.
Diabolical synonyms.
Yeah, synonyms.
Hellish. Wicked. Yeah. Wicked. Unholy.
Yeah,
Just 11 minutes
ungodly.
of some unholy madness, thanks to Fred. And then there's Dilworth's favorite villain, the one who set the tone with the very first episode.
I love this episode too. Mainly, I just like the fact that his evil method of defeat was handball.
Cats.
Welcome to the Cat's Motel. I'm Cats.
I also love how Jazz plays every time you see him.
Cats is such a diabolical. I see, there it is again. Cats is a
I don't
pretty
like the
satanic
spider
fella. The way he
episode. I
splits
think
the
that's what
family
gave
up
me
and
that
makes sure
nightmare
that they
that
are
one
so
day,
by
too.
peeping through his paintings and shower heads, only so that he can feed them to his mutant spiders.
There were notes from time to time, but my favorite note...
6.5. 6.5. I never
great.
noticed that before.
That's
It came
crazy,
from
yeah.
Standards and Practices. It's room 666.
Yeah.
And a
And
half.
the note was, we're going to get complaints, so can you just change the number? I made it 666 and a half.
I knew it.
This comedy, dude.
And it
It's
was
pure comedy.
fine.
When it's time for Courage to
Pure
confront
comedy.
Cats himself,
That's because everybody, even crazy people like our mom, was like, "Ha, it's a joke. That's funny."
there's only one way
Yeah.
to resolve the conflict. Games.
One of
Yep.
my favorite things about the show was when they come to the head of a confrontation, then they do something like they salsa dance or something, or they get in an intense
That
game
episode
of,
was sad.
badminton or
Yeah.
something. Or...
Right, so how do you resolve conflict? Think back as
Like
a
half
child.
of the episodes were really dark and creepy, and then the other half are really sad.
Yeah, I really want his hat. I really want his hat. Look at that thing, dude.
Yeah.
Would be games.
Oh, I want to spin it.
Yeah, so
I want to
there's
spin it
just
so
a
bad.
formula.
Yeah.
There's a formula
I love that one too. The exorcism had to do with a thumb war.
of mine to resolve conflict, not with
Actually
violence.
think about it that way though when
Sure.
you were creating it, were you I'm gonna play on my childhood or
No, not me specifically, but it
The
was
breakdancing.
deliberate to use childhood games
Oh, that was a good
Nice.
episode.
play to resolve conflict as a contradiction to the adult world of aggressive dominance. Right? The stronger prevails, the most brutal prevails.
Yeah.
That's going to happen anyway, right? But to defeat somebody in checkers, it's humiliating.
Cats is a repeat villain. I think it's for good reason. He is one of the best villains.
Welcome
Oh, hold
to
up.
Club Cats.
Can I tell you what episode I hated the most?
Of course, you can tell me what episode you hated the most.
The one where Eustace was went to this, I don't remember what it was, a therapy place or whatever, and whenever he would try to do something put a thread through an eye of a needle, and he
Yes.
would just focus really hard on it, and his brain would get really big and swelled up. It's just, I felt like him whenever I saw him do that.
I
I'm
know
like,
which one you're
okay,
talking
yeah,
about, and it pops out that one hair.
And it's
Boing.
like, oh, I'm going to
Oh, when you heat it up, it'll moisten up again. Trust me, I've done
He's done it. He knows. He knows.
yeah, but anyways,
I'm making wiggly
yeah,
eyebrows
that
on camera now.
that episode just annoyed the shit out of me. I hated that episode.
Really? You
Because
hated
it's
an
because
episode.
now whenever I get focused on something really hard, I get really pissed off. I just remember that episode. And it just annoys me even more.
Oh yeah, you just feel like Eustace all the time now. You're like, and then you're gonna pop out like one hair.
I forgot about the one hair part. I just remember him trying to thread the needle, and it was like he was like shaking really bad, and like the world was about to explode, kind of thing.
Yeah, well, that was the thing, right? It was hair regrowth.
But on Club
cream,
Cats, he's not
and it
feeding
said
them to
don't get
spiders.
angry,
Now
and
he's
then
up to something
it kept getting angry and then have like psychic powers on the world around him.
Who's
Yeah, I
Cats
remember
putting on this
that now.
entertainment for?
Tonight, for your enjoyment, Eustace the Wrecking Ball.
There is no crowd. He's just an applause machine. Why did he mastermind this whole new club to put this performance on? Is he mad?
I loved
so
it.
off the top, those are some of the most horrifying villains, but there's other flavors of them too. Like I said, this show is a goldmine of them. One of the funniest is Schwick.
I love Schwick.
But call me Schwick.
I love
Just
Schwick.
Don't ever call me Bushwick.
Where are you from?
Bushwick. You can call that Bushwick, but not me. Me, you call Schwick. Just
You got
Schwick.
Schwick.
Quack is pretty funny too, and he's another.
No, I love
repeat
the
villain.
Quack.
The Goose.
I love it because he puts on the fakest French accent ever. He's like, ho 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 ho, bonjour, mademoiselle. It's so fake, it's terrible. It makes me laugh.
It's very funny.
I love this one too.
And then I'll throw Cajun Fox in there too. I love his sunglasses, and especially when he takes them off. Cajun Fox is just a cool guy.
Hey man, how you doing?
That's one of the first villains they had.
The Medium,
Yeah.
another fantastic recurring character in this universe. The way she helps Eustace contact his dead brother.
Just dial my dead brother and shut up.
Join hands.
That's just brilliant. Extra points to Shirley for always referring to Eustace as the
God damn it.
stupid one.
The stupid one. He's stupid, right?
And what's
Yes.
this eye she has anyway? You know, it's a little different. It's not like a Sharingan or a Rinnegan. Call that the Shirleygan. The chicken from outer space
Shirleygan,
is a
dude.
classic because it's the one that started it all. In the self-titled short film that was Oscar nominated, this would be what became Courage Revenge of the Chicken.
Told you so.
From outer space is crazy.
FYI.
When
The
did it
chicken
come
is
out?
cooked. It's literally
I don't know,
cooked, and
but
came
I
back
know
to
it came
destroy
out
Courage. It took
before the show.
Eustace's head off and put it on itself. I personally hated blood-sucking stuff growing up, so seeing the evil Weevil was wild. Watching how nimble and skeletal Muriel and Eustace are after the Weevil sucks most of their blood out, it's pretty scarring.
I thought
Look
you
at
sucked
this.
in their
This man's been
whole-
reduced to a small puddle in a bag, and it's not even the first episode something like that has happened.
He just.
Which
I forgot he
reminds
just
me of the
became a puddle of
Snowman.
water.
Snowman is another one of the funniest villains. He gets a couple episodes, rightfully so.
Yeah.
Hohauser. He was a ton of snow.
You gotta throw some appreciation to Benton Tarantella. He appears in Everybody Wants to Direct, and then again in Angry
Yes.
Nasty People. And then I think there's just like one annoying
I like that
character in
guy.
the whole show, and it's this guy. And they definitely made him that way on purpose. But he does offer some really good moments like this one. I bet you can think of at least a few guys that are unironically like this in real life.
I only had a nickel. Now I own 3 apartment buildings and a fleet of limousines.
Here in my garage, just bought this new Lamborghini here. Fun to drive up here in the Hollywood Hills.
All you have to do to learn the secret of my success is send me money.
And there's a couple.
I wonder if that works. I need to make a commercial, Megan. Listen, guys. Listen, guys. If you want dollars like this one, all you gotta do is subscribe to my channel and give me $1. And then you too can see your money on camera.
That's funny.
It sounds really
More key
stupid.
villains
It's a
that
dumb
we'll pay a
joke.
visit
It's a
to
super
later,
dumb
but
joke.
the last one that I'd like to mention for now is the Puppet Master, the Magician, the Grateful
Oh, I love
City.
that
This
episode.
guy in this
I like that
episode is
episode
special
too.
for a few reasons. It's one of those episodes where the conflict is actually not resolved. There's no happy ending. This episode is
I
the
wish
root
they
of
would make a
popular
sequel
fan
to this
theory,
show.
that this twisted ending from the season 1 finale
Oh,
is
dude.
what actually
Me
is
too.
the
It'd be
rest
great.
of Courage's existence in the following 3 seasons. It's like Sasori and Naruto, whose parents have passed but have been turned into puppets playing pretend that they're still alive today.
Oh, that's
and
so
while we're talking fan
sad.
theories, we have to address one of the most popular ones
I
besides
didn't get a
this,
message.
that this entire show is an
Yeah, you
exaggeration
did.
of reality.
I
That
thought it was
Courage has
me.
an overactive
I sure
imagination due
did.
to anxiety or perhaps schizophrenia, and that it all
No.
basically that it's all just in Courage's head. We'll get into these theories a bit more in chapter 6, which is all about art and the interpretation of
Hey,
it. But
it's
for
an
now, I'll
episode.
just say that the most important thing is how art makes you feel. So if either of these theories or any other ones that you can think of make you feel something greater, then go with it. That's
I think the
the whole
most fucked
point.
up villain
There's
is
tons
still
of
Mad
department that go
Dog.
into filmmaking, but there's one that really stands out with this show in particular, and for that reason, it deserves its own chapter. Believe it or not, even
The
though we have long
music.
called them pictures or motion pictures, audio is actually the backbone to cinema. Real ones know.
Yep. It's dope as fuck looking. Get it. Get it.
I think that's why you can watch, air quotes, watch, from the other side of the room while you're cooking dinner, or while you're eating dinner, or on your second monitor while you're playing Brotato. You can get a lot of the key
I've
information
never
from
played
sound
Brotato.
alone. The music
That's
sets
pretty
the
lame.
tone, the dialogue conveys the information, and sound effects fill in the details. What's exceptionally notable about Courage the Cowardly Dog soundtrack is that so much of it is original.
We wrote pretty much a different theme for every single villain.
That's insane.
You know, because it's
I
like,
knew it had to be the case.
you know,
I knew it
so
had to be
was
the
extra
case.
work. We didn't really care. We just wanted it to be cool.
All
Reminds me how-
right. And just before the video gets too long, I'm gonna end it there, guys. Go watch Level 1 Rock on YouTube and see the rest of it, because I want you guys to watch this video and support him, because this was good. This was good work. Now me and Megan,
That's real good.
we're gonna keep on watching it because, well, we love you guys so much that we want you to watch it yourself. So like and subscribe if you want to see more dumb jokes from me. You're welcome.
And hear me munching on stuff.
Yeah, she eats very loudly, doesn't she? Tell her in the comments. All right. All right. Bye, guys. Have a good night.